Welcome back to Hanging in the Hideout. Welcome if it's your first time. This is the podcast where we show the humanity behind the badge. Why easy listening, you say? Well, it's because I've been stressed, extremely stressed this week, and I need a little bit of woosah moments, yeah. I've been reading the law, folks, last week, cramming it in, all the updates. And let me say, House of Representatives, Senate for the state of Texas, stop using ChatGPT. It's obvious. Even ChatGPT can't break it down anymore because y'all have confused everything. We go by the KISS theory in police work, and I ask you, adopt the KISS theory. This man or woman did this, it equals this. Not, this man did this, and the wind was blowing this way. So therefore, if it were at 6 to 12 p.m., it should be this. But if it's between 12 and 12:15, it should be this. And 12:15 to 12:30, it should be this. Stop. Embrace yourself. And then punch yourself. You're being an a-hole. Enough of that easy listening. I do welcome you back. Today on the show, we got a very short show because I pre-recorded one for 50 minutes. A couple days ago, watched it to edit it. It was trash. And I know I'm not providing the best content in the world, but I definitely don't want to give you trash content. So we're going to spend just a few minutes. I'm talking short on just a few topics. One of which is going to be an individual that probably should be behind bars for, 20 years plus, but probably won't see bars long, probably 6 months at the most. We're going to talk about that case in not great detail, but detail enough to hear me bitch a little bit. Then we're going to talk about, Howard Stern getting canceled. Then I would like to talk about future shows that are coming up. Hopefully we will have guests reappearing on the show in the next week, maybe 2 weeks, but definitely in the near future. I got several topics I want to talk about with them, and then we're going to talk about the attorneys and the issue, and I will show you an example of law. So stay tuned to the end so you could see, and any attorneys that watch this, which maybe there's some, if you just want to go to the end, then go to the end and see where you're screwing up. Because what I'm going to show you makes no sense, and this is a minor detail of many, many laws that I've read that are exactly the same, if not worse, but I can at least explain this one easily and point it out. It shines like a diamond, as some might say. So our first story is this gentleman. 66-year-old man was pulled over for drunk driving back in November, right? Now, that's not uncommon. Drunk driving is pretty damn common. Even in the city that we're in, it's 5 or 6 a night. Easy. We got some guys that love them. Talked about them before. But he's wearing a shirt saying, "Warning, I do dumb things." How accurate is that? Because it's this guy's... He had a warrant for his 9th drunk driving offense. He's facing 10 years, but guess what? He'll probably see 6 months at best. Thank you, prosecutors. You're doing a damn good job. But the jails are full. That's what everybody says. But guess what? They can get fuller. Jail that I have seen has seemed like a kind of a getaway vacation. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's not jail anymore. Anyway, let's not go off on that tangent. So this guy, it is his 9th. And I tell you, I don't know if he's going to see any time. It is amazing how the defense attorneys or cases in court, when it comes to DWI, now your first one, I know it's enhanceable, your first one's a Class B here, so up to 6 months. And it is fought like it's a murder charge. And so much so that some prosecutors, not just talking about ours here, but some prosecutors would rather change it to another offense because they'll sign guilty and they don't have to go through all the rigmarole, if that's even the right term, in order to get a conviction. But then we have a problem. Now we don't have a prior to go on to the next time they drive drunk. Because people don't learn, just like kids, adults don't learn their lesson if you keep giving them chances. Spare the rod, spoil the adult. That's in Genesis 5:3. I don't want to be sacrilegious, but that's why I made up a book. It's not really in the Bible, guys. Don't look it up. So that gentleman probably won't see, but that's the raw, unfortunate reality of law enforcement and prosecution and the whole gambit. So when you're driving and you see someone swerving, call it in. At least they get off the street for the night. That's what I could tell you if cops do their job right. Moving on to the next one, Howard Stern. So I grew up listening to Howard Stern. He had a movie, I think, I should have looked this up. I think it's called Private Parts, back in the 90s. And I can't even remember. I remember watching it a few times. It's him glorifying himself. But shock jock Howard Stern was seriously something in my childhood. I'm sure people my age, everybody knows about him. And he used to be super funny till it went all political, and then I quit listening to him because it was just nonstop. But I listened to him every morning. It was pretty good show. But his $100 million, guys, $100 million contract is being canceled. Well, it's not being canceled. Once it's expired, they're not going to renew it. So Howard Stern is no more, I think, later this year. And that makes a tear fall because as I watched the actors I enjoyed watching as a kid die left and right, Hulk Hogan, I guess he was in a movie or two, but the wrestler Hulk Hogan, God rest his soul, everybody's dying, and I'm sure to follow soon with my old grumpy ass. But with that said, Howard Stern, holla, bitch. Oh, yeah. And I know we're already moving on to another little thing, but we're going to talk about something good before what irritates me. So, future shows. First of all, if you don't understand the life of a police officer, I suggest you go do ride-alongs. Most departments will let any citizen ride along. Of course, if you don't have a history and all, ride along with an officer. Officers sometimes don't want you in that car, so it's not as exciting and all, but just to see, maybe you'll be fortunate enough to see the cussing and the treatment or whatever. Most of the time, we're treated okay, but sometime within a shift, you're going to be treated like you're a piece of crap, and you hadn't even done anything except for exist. So, with that said, try to do a ride along and get to know what these officers are like. But future shows, 911 dispatchers, the unseen first responder. They are considered first responders, and I am not sure. I don't think I've done a dispatcher show. So I will have one or two on here, and we will kind of rip through their experiences, what they go through, and let me tell you, they go through a lot more than you think. Then we're going to go retired, but never off duty. See if I can get, I know Brandon came on, and he's retired officer, but he's also bailiff, so that didn't really count. I want to find an officer that maybe I know here that is retired and living the retired life, not doing something else, which is kind of hard to come by because, believe it or not, my old chief is now working with Homeland Security, and he's like 70-something. So, I mean, he'll never, it doesn't seem like we turn it off. This guy right here, in a couple years, we'll be turning it off. If not this next year. Secrets to be told later. Job offers. Not sure if I'm going to take it, but it sure is tempting. It's like that hook. Gonna get me. Anyway, mental health and law enforcement. Rose would like to come back, which I know I've talked about this before, but Rose would like to come back and do a show. Officers, if I got officers on here, I'm sure I do. It's like we gravitate to each other. You may want to pay attention to that episode. It's going to be real. It's going to be good information. Maybe some assistance that we can all get. I honestly know I'm damaged. This job has completely changed me. And it's not a recognizable damage, if that makes sense. I don't feel like I'm damaged. But as things happen that I observe and it doesn't affect me in one way or another, negative, good, it's like I become a neutral spirit. I don't know. But that is a telltale sign that something broke. So could I use some therapy? Sure. But then that therapist is going to need therapy. So on to our last little semi-segment for this episode. We're going to go to the law. Now, I've been reading a lot of law this last week, cramming. And I'm so confused now. I couldn't tell you laws that I knew by heart for 20 years. Never had a law confuse me like these have lately. And this is only a minor one here. This is not so much something that confuses me. This is something that just kind of shows how the contradiction is so strong, brother. The contradiction is strong within this one. That was not a good Yoda. Damn. I used to do Yoda good. Well, depending on who's watching. All right, if you'll pay attention to your screens, ladies and gentlemen, this is a failed ID. This is Penal Code 38.02 failed ID. A person commits an offense when they intentionally refuse to give his name, residence address, or date of birth to a peace officer who lawfully arrested the person and requested the information. So if you are lawfully arrested and you refuse to give any of the information requested, that's a Class C misdemeanor, right? If you see that right here. Number one, under, where the hell is it? Anyway, it's Class C misdemeanor. Oh, right here, under A. So see the little A, Class C. Now this B1's going to piss me off. Dang, stop doing that. So that is easy. That's always been there. That's, well, for as long as I've been a cop. No big deal. Then a person commits an offense if he intentionally, knowingly, all right, I added that completely. I'm so used to intentionally, knowingly being together. Intentionally gives a false or fictitious name, residence, date of birth to a police officer, has lawfully arrested them. So if they lie to you, okay, when they're detained, arrested, okay, detained, pay attention to that. Golly. Class A misdemeanor if offense committed under B. So B, up here, they lie to you, right? Everything's going, this is normal. Nothing's new here. This is easy. Then this B1 comes in. I don't know exactly when. In 2023, it looks like they added this B1. This B1 is a person commits an offense if they're operating a motor vehicle. So if you have someone pulled over on a traffic stop, guess what? Isn't that detained up here, number 2? Okay, they didn't change anything. So that already is contradicting, but they're in a motor vehicle. Now, this used not to be an offense, but it is now, which is nice-ish. And they're in a motor vehicle, and they lawfully detained by a peace officer for an alleged violation of law, fail to provide the driver's license or their information. I'll just sum it up. License or their information, date of birth, driver's license, number, residence address, whatever. Okay? Now that's a Class C. It used to be if they were detained and refused, it was nothing. But guess what? If you have them on a traffic stop because they specifically said motor vehicle, operating a motor vehicle, traffic stop, failed ID driver's license, you're done, hook them up, go. Class C, right there. All right, this is the part that completely pisses me off. Because they go and add this part about the motor vehicle, right? So they add the motor vehicle section. It's all said and done. We're all good. Class C, oh, wait, it can be enhanced. How can it be enhanced, oh mighty lawyers of Austin? Under D1, an offense under subsection B1 is a Class B, so it gets enhanced, misdemeanor, if it's shown in trial that they gave a false or fictitious name to police officers during the commission of the offense. Can someone please explain what the hell is going on? Because under B1, revisited, A person commits an offense if what? The operator of a motor vehicle does what? Let me jump down here. Fails to provide a driver's license or information, their date of birth, name, and all that. So how can they violate that with false or fictitious information when they didn't provide it? Like, what the hell? You can't commit an offense on D1. You can't. Because if you do false or fictitious name, date of birth, or ID, guess what? That's in violation of B up here. So, attorneys, this has got to be a chat GPT, like, add something in the law about this. We got to quit it because this is a minor confusion in law. There are ones that are so damn confusing. I could be out there on the street and I would have to pull my book out and can't make a split decision choice because I have to make sure all the puzzle pieces fit. Stop making it confusing. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. That's what that stands for, in case I didn't say that already. Adopt the KISS theory. Stop making it confusing. You need to ride along. Go out with your local police departments. Go ride with police officers. See the split decision making they have to do. And then maybe, just maybe, you'll realize, dang, maybe I should do things different. Stupid. If I didn't explain that thing thoroughly enough, I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I really am sorry for this short episode. I wanted to put something out there, but love y'all. Till next time, remember, heroes don't stage, and we'll just turn another page. It rhymes. Until next time.